Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this evening's call. My name is Derek Hawkes, and I'll be your host for this evening. We are launching a business from Ms. Taleace Beverly. For those of you who were invited, we welcome you all. We actually welcome all of our guests from all around the country, around the world. Again, we're going to be talking about a technology that is literally life-changing, and it's the reason for that. We're actually under attack. And when I talk about under attack, we're under attack by land, by air, and by sea. And what do I mean by that? Let's talk about the land. Our land, the food that we eat today, is not the same as it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. The soils have been depleted. So now they actually have something called GMO, genetically modified organism or foods. That is why when you look for example, watermelon, cucumbers, grapes, they all are seedless. I don't know about you, but when God created the earth, he said he created everything with a seed. So things are being changed. The food is just not the same. There are things that in the U.S. particularly, and there are ingredients in some of the foods that aren't even allowed in some countries. That's how bad it is. But we've been used to it, and that is one of the causes of the attack that I talked about by land. Let's talk about by water. The other day, I went to turn the kitchen faucet on in the middle of the night, and I could literally smell bleach. So every once in a while, I guess they put a little bit of bleach in the water to cleanse it, to keep it clean. But the water's just not the same. It's not the quality's not the same. The oils, the water's being polluted. There's so many things that are happening with the water. So we have to even be careful about the water we drink. And let's talk about the air. You've all witnessed what's happening in California over the past few months with the fires, the smoke, and it left a lot of debris and residue that is harmful. In fact, about 2 years ago, I live in the New York, New Jersey area. They had a similar fire in Canada, and the fire it was so bad that the air, you can look outside and you can see a yellow haze in the air. We were warned not to go outside for 2 days. So we've been attacked. So those are the stresses of life, but we also have the stresses of work, finances, dealing with illnesses, things that people deal with every day. A lot of people go to work to a place they don't want to go to, working with people they don't like and respect, and who get paid not what they work, but they get paid what they are accepted. In fact, most people work just hard enough so they don't get fired, and most companies pay most people just enough so they don't quit. But the bottom line is you have an opportunity. We have a solution not only for your health, we have a, a solution for your wealth. When I talk about your health is actually your wealth. If you had a choice between having $1 million and having your health, I don't know about you. I would definitely choose my health over the money. But what if you were in a position where you can have both? You can have health and wealth. Well, we're going to share that with you tonight. We're going to be talking about a technology. The technology is about the size of a quarter. For those of you can see, hopefully you can see this well enough. This is what's called an X39. It is a stem cell patch. There's no stem cells in the patch, but it's called a stem cell activation pack. And many of you might have heard a lot about stem cells in the news lately. A lot of people are getting the stem cell injections. The one thing about stem cell injections, they are very costly, anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 for one shot. You have to come back generally about 6 months, and it's usually a localized treatment, and there's no guarantee that it's work. And most medical coverage is not covered by your medical coverage in most cases. Practically, now I don't know of any cases where they actually pay for it. So, what if you have an opportunity to get better results with your stem cells without having to get the injection, without having to succumb to medication? Well, we have a solution, and that solution is called LifeWave. That's the name of the company. And I'm going to talk about the X39, which is a technology that is literally life-changing. You want to thank the person that got you on the call, because by the time I'm finished with this call, not only will you be thanking them, a lot of them you're going to be thanking them for life changing. Now, why am I talking about X39? Let's talk about some things that most of us didn't know about. I know none of my doctors ever told me about this, but by the time we turn 30, half of our stem cells are inactive. By the time we turn 60, nearly all of our stem cells are inactive. And if you think about your life cycle, remember when you were a child? I know I did. I was a rough kid. I played outside. I got scratches, bruised. I broke an arm, broke a leg. I had a lot of bruises and cuts, but I remember healing very quickly when I was younger. As I got a little older, I noticed it took a little bit longer to heal. In fact, by the time you turn 60, if you get that same cut, that same break in the leg or arm that you had when you were younger, it becomes a permanent scar. You replace that scar or that broken leg with the wheelchair. You might replace it with a walker or a cane. Your scar becomes a permanent scar. In fact, I used to joke to my wife. She used to work at the post office, and when I used to go pick her up, I told her when I came to pick her up, when they changed shifts, when people left the post office, it literally looked like the Michael Jackson Thriller video. Everybody had a limp. Everybody walked with a certain way. Again, because a lot of broken bodies and broken parts by working and hard labor. But the bottom line is our bodies change. Now, stem cells, they are the tissues and organs in our bodies. They are the body's intended repair system. That's right. So when your body has an injury, when you have a cut, when you have a bruise, the first person or the first thing that shows up in repair is your stem cells. The great thing about the stem cells is that they're all throughout the body. Unfortunately, as I shared with you earlier, by the time you turn 60, most of them are dormant. They're there, they're just not working the same. Now, the less active stem cells we have, the slower that we heal, and the faster the effects of aging take over us. And that is why it takes a long time to get over some of the same injuries you might have earlier. And a lot of people have a lot of challenges. Now, millions of people experiencing the effects of aging at a rapid pace. I can't remember a time when so many people were dying at early ages or were getting, you see younger people with cancer and diabetes. And these are because of all of the attacks that I talked about, that we've been attacked by land, air, and sea, but also the stresses of life. Unfortunately, children succumb to social media pressure, and if they don't get enough likes, some of them even have committed suicide. But the bottom line is, we have a solution to healing the body, but also not just your physical wealth, which is your health, as well as your financial health. So we're going to talk about that as we go further. Now, let's talk about this patch first. First and foremost, this patch was developed by a gentleman. His name is David Schmidt. David Schmidt is not only the CEO of the company, he is also the inventor. And he has over 100 and actually I have to change the slide because he has more than 130 patents. And David actually is a scientist and inventor, but he specializes in age reversing technology. In fact, out of the 130 patents he has, about 70 of them are actually related to age reversing technologies. Now, this is not Dave's first rodeo. About 20 years ago, David had a contract with the U.S. government, in particular the Navy SEALs, and they asked him if he can develop a technology or something that the Navy SEALs could use. They had just come up with a new submarine. They wanted them to be able to stay alert for more than 36 hours without crashing, without having any side effects, any drugs, chemicals. He developed his first patch, and that was well over 20 years ago. Now, since then, David spent a lot of time developing this X39 patch. In fact, in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research because that's when it became real prominent and everybody was talking about stem cells and the benefits of it. But they just couldn't figure out how it worked. But David was the one who cracked the code. In fact, he spent about $10 million, 10 years, and about $5 million of his own money to bring this technology to market. Let me say that again. He spent 10 years and over $5 million to bring it to market. That's how important it was to David, and that's how critical and important this our technology is. Now, this technology is backed by a patent. And here's one thing you have to understand about patents. You cannot get a patent for something if it does not work. Let me say that again. You cannot get a patent for something if it doesn't do what it claims it does. And what does this patent say? It produces beneficial effects to a human body, such as activation of stem cells, very important, improvement in strength, improvement in stamina, pain relief. How many people would like some pain relief via a non-transdermal container? What do I mean by non-transdermal? That means it does not penetrate the skin. It's in a small size. Again, as I shared with you, when I first saw this patch, I could not believe my eyes because it's about the size of a quarter. And as an engineer and somebody who spends a lot of time doing research, I was a little skeptical at first, but I was proven that it does what it says it does. For those of you who want to get more information, you can write down the patent number. I'm going to also give you a website a little bit later on that will give you all of the information that you need to know and get all your questions answered. Now, let's go further and talk about this patent and how it works. Again, it's a proprietary form of phototherapy. What is phototherapy? It's simply light. It's nothing new. Thousands of years ago, they used light therapy for a lot of things. We are light beings. Even Thomas Edison said that we are light beings. If you notice, the planets move towards the sun. We are light beings. In fact, you can see people at night if you have night vision goggles because they are emanating light, which is energy. Now, it's the patented nanocrystal technology. Patent, again, it says a patent. That means there's another 15 or so years before anybody can even attempt to duplicate what we have. It's a nanocrystal. Crystals is made up simply of organic salts and crystals. There's no side effects from what's used. Non-transdermal, does not penetrate the skin. What it does, it reflects light to activate your. There's something in the body called a copper peptide, And in fact, it's called GHKCU. If you want to look it up, it's called a copper peptide. Now it was discovered. In fact, if you go back, I can go back as far as 1973. There was another gentleman. His name is Lauren Picard. Lauren Picard was a scientist. Now, Lauren, at the age of 5, he saw his grandmother died of cancer. And his mother was so devastated by it. David promised his mother, and think about this, at the tender age of 5, he told his mother, I am going to find a cure for cancer. Now, he spent his life trying to, studying and trying to find out a cure for cancer. Now, he did not discover a cure for cancer, but let me tell you what Lauren Picard did discover. He did discover the GHKCU copper peptide. Now, what's interesting enough, Lauren Picard comes from a family of ministers, and they always told him, they said, when you cannot get something, you can't figure things out, pray to God. So what did he do? He prayed to God, and that's how he discovered the copper peptide. Now, what it does is and what Lauren discovered, he said, if you can figure out a way to activate the copper peptide, you will also activate your dormant stem cells. Now, he didn't get that far, and that is where David Schmidt comes in. David Schmidt's a man of faith. Again, he spent years and years working on it. And a lot of people might say, you know what? This is this is irony that you have two scientists who spent their life trying to figure out cures that would help people. And I say it's not irony, it's more like destiny. Both of them, again, the men of faith, they both spent their life trying to figure out a way to help people. Now, how does it work? The patch reflects light to activate those dormant, the copper peptides. And I'm going to give you an example of analogy. When you get vitamin D, you go out in the sun and they talk about getting vitamin D, but we don't get vitamin D from the sun. What happens is the vitamin D gives off certain wavelengths of light, and those wavelengths of light activate the vitamin D that's already in us because God has given us a body to heal itself. We just needed somebody to figure out the code, to figure out how can we get those peptides and to activate those dormant stem cells. Well, what it does is it acts as a mirror. So when you put this patch on, it reflects light back inward. As I said earlier, if you ever seen the way that night vision goggles work, you can see the outer lining of a person in the middle of the night because your body's giving off energy, which is heat, which is light. So what this patch does, it acts like a mirror. It reflects the light back inward to the body. And once you activate your copper peptide, guess what? Your dormant stem cells wake up and they start to go through your body and see what your body needs. It's smart enough to know what your body needs most. There's no drugs or chemicals. I'm so grateful for that because you have the pharmaceutical cartels who give us drugs and they force us to take things that have all kind of side effects. I mean, I can't tell you how many commercials I see, but one of the side effects is actually death or heart attack. And that's the thing that we have to deal with. And unfortunately, I have a lot of respect for doctors, but they get paid to recommend us to take certain drugs. In fact, if you think about how they learn, most doctors spend most of their time in medical school learning about treatment. What do you do after someone is sick? What do you do after somebody has the symptom? Not prevention. So again, that's what they're used to. But there's no drugs or chemicals, and it's 100% non-invasive. So what better way to heal yourself than let the body go to work itself? Now I'm going to actually show you a short video. This video is about 3 minutes. It's going to tell you, it's going to show you how this thing works. It's going to explain it to you a little bit better than I have. After that video, I'm going to come back on the other side and give you some more input in terms of how the patch works. How do you wear it? I'm even going to share with you the brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. Is going to show you scientifically proven how her brain healed and how it improved just by wearing the patch. So let's watch this short video. Take some notes if you may, and I will see you on the other side of the video.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. LifeWave's phototherapy patches use light that can promote a general state of health and healthy activity unique to each LifeWave patch. Here's how the technology works. First, the patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, Infrared energy emitted from the body is reflected back into the body and then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy. LifeWave phototherapy patches promote an environment that enables the body to optimize its restorative energy and enhances your ability to live well without the use of harmful drugs or chemicals. To find out more, contact your distributor. LifeWave, live long, live well.
All right, so that was kind of an overview, but the bottom line is it's very simple. Sounds sophisticated, but again, it's nature working at its best. It's a combination of God's and nature's formula working together. Now, here are the benefits of the X39. You have increased strength. You have reduced inflammation. You have an opportunity to have more energy and vitality. If you like to work out, even recover faster after working out. You also have increased stamina. I'm sure we all can use that. Mental clarity. As I said earlier, I'm going to share with you the brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. We're going to show you how her mental clarity cleared up, restored muscle and skeletal conditions. We've had people that have had all kind of injuries, surgeries, and pain, and had a lot of relief from the patches. Improvement of sleep. One of the first things I experienced when I first got the patch, a friend of mine told me about this patch, and I knew about stem cells because I was involved in the company over 30 years ago, that one of the ingredients that they used in their product was something called human placental extract. It was a facelift. And the way it worked is you put it on, you mix a liquid and a powder together, you put it on your face, and it tightened and it actually gave you the appearance of being younger. One of the ingredients was human placental extract, which is basically stem cells. So this goes way back in terms of use. Improvement of sleep and improvement of skin appearance. Now, when I first used the patch, again, I played basketball at a high level, high school, college, some semi-professional, and I developed some discomfort in my lower back to the point where if I sat down for more than, say, 45 minutes or so, when I got up, I would be stiff. I would have to stretch before I moved around. When I went to sleep, I had to sleep at a certain angle. If it wasn't just right, I was tossing and turning all night, keeping my wife up. But I also had sleep apnea. And again, so those are the two things that I suffer with. But I really got the patches initially because I wanted to see if it would help reduce the inflammation that I had in my back. And lo and behold, within the first week, I didn't even tell my wife I was using the patch. I wanted to see if it worked before I even mentioned it. And she noticed in the first 3 days, the first week or so, that I stopped snoring because I snored heavily with sleep apnea, but also I slept like a baby. So I had improved sleep and I stopped snoring right away. And so she noticed that before I even paid attention to it. And now within 3 weeks, the inflammation I had in my lower back, it dissipated to the point where I no longer had to go to my physical therapy. I was going to physical therapy twice a week to get treatment um, for my back. And I haven't been back since over a year and a half. I have not been back to that. So these are the benefits that you'll experience. I've experienced everything on here. The longer you wear the patch, the more you experience. The patch is very smart. So what it will do, it will identify what your body needs the most. So you might have a little pain, an ache somewhere, but your heart may need a restoration. Maybe your body, maybe your skin if you had a broken bone. So it will go to the areas you need first. But the bottom line is the patch, it does what it says it does. Okay. Now let's talk about the long-term results of the patch. These are based on case studies. If you want more information, go to thisisitinfo.com. Thisisitinfo.com. That is a website that was put together by our team, was put together with the input of doctors. And so if you want more information like again, go to thisisitinfo.com. Watch the first 3 videos. It takes you less than 10 minutes. And then if you want to do a deeper dive, you can look at the case studies. There's some testimonies by doctors. There's even a video by David Smith himself explaining how he developed the patch in detail. Now, in the first few days, what happens is 4,000 genes begin to reset. Let me tell you how significant that is. Some of you may have heard the benefits of drinking red wine. That if you drink enough red wine, one of the benefits is that 2 of your genes would be reset. Just 2. Do you know how much red wine you'd have to drink to get 4,000 of your genes to reset? And that's what this patch does in the first few days. That's why some people experience better sleep, more energy. The pain will be dissipated. Everybody will experience something different, but the bottom line is in the first few days, the patch is already going to work. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. And I'm going to say this again. I'm going to share with you a brain scan of a 77-year-old woman to show you that it does, in fact, balance the brain. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. How many of you would like to have thicker skin, stronger skin? We have one of our partners in her 80s. She had the bags in her eyes have gone away because of the collagen. Now, there's a lot of collagen products out there. A lot of products have collagen in it, but what if your body reproduces its own collagen through the stem cells? What better way to heal than that? Within 6 months, your heart reverses in age, and let me explain how that works. It actually reverses by 8 years, because you have two ages. You have your biological age or your physical age, which is basically how long have you been on this earth. I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody is 60 years old, but their vascular age is based on how well your body is, how healthy you are, how your blood flows. All those things determine your vascular age. But there's some people who are maybe 60 years in age, but they may have the vascular age might be 50, and there are others who may be 60 who have vascular age, so somebody like in their 80s. So the bottom line is, every 6 months that you wear the patch, your vascular age reverses by 8 years, and you can go to your doctor, do a checkup, go back 6 months later after wearing the patch and see the results. They're just mind-boggling. Now, it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing, and that's a quote by David Smith himself. Those are the results and what happens. Now, let me show you the brain scan. This is what they call a topography map. It's a brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. When she came in on the far left, that was her brain. They took a scan of her brain, and you saw the reddish orange area. That represents inflammation in the brain. It represents the lack of brain coherence. So on the first session, they put a patch on the back of my neck, and she wore the patch every day. She came back 3 weeks later for another brain scan. As you can see, the inflammation is gone. No more inflammation. She has improved brain coherence. Have you ever experienced walking into a room and forget why you walked into the room? Have you ever walked to somebody, asked them, have you seen my glasses? And it's sitting on top of your head. Well, that's what happens. We call that brain fog. That's what happens as we age. But again, if you can replenish those stem cells, guess what? You get more clarity. Look at what happened after 6 weeks of wearing a patch in session number 3, a complete turnaround, better brain coherence. But understand this, because your body is made of stem cells and because you have a lot of them in your brain, this also could represent a scan of your heart. It could represent a scan of your blood cells, your bones, your structure, any part of your body, because you have stem cells throughout your body. This is a representation of what is happening throughout your body. Okay. Now, how do you wear the patch? Very simple. Again, you wear the patch for 12 hours on and 12 hours off. For example, I keep mine in the bathroom so I don't forget it. I put this patch on sometime in the back of my neck, under my belly button. Now, the areas that you see on the screen, those are areas that they did during the clinical trials, because anytime you have a clinical study, you have to be consistent with where you place the patch. So they took the information from the location. However, they realized that after several trials that you can wear that patch anywhere in your body. We say put it where it hurts, or put it where we need the effect. Now, you put the patch on, say 8 o'clock in the morning, you take it off at 8 o'clock at night. Then you throw it away, and then you let your body repair and rejuvenate, because it is well known that our bodies heal itself while it's at rest. Now, you get up in the next morning, you put another patch on, you do the same thing, and you repeat it. Again, you can wear more than one patch, but one generally does what it needs, two at the most. But again, you can wear more than one at a time. But you want to drink plenty of water, preferably alkaline water, preferably water that has mineral in it. As I shared with you, what happened in Detroit a few years ago was devastating with the water system. The city, the town tried to hide it. A lot of people got sick and had challenges. So again, it's important that you drink water along the way. In fact, it was discovered that if you drink more water, you would actually be a lot healthier if you did nothing else. And that is why when you go into an emergency room, one of the first things they do when they roll you into an emergency room is they hydrate you, because most people in this country, particularly, are walking around dehydrated. And me as an athlete, the only time I used to drink if I was thirsty. And now I am deliberate about drinking water several times a day throughout the day, and it helps with the patch as well. Now, for those of you who want more information, if you're like me, again, I'm an engineer. Sometimes we like to delve into the science behind how it works. Go to thisisitinfo.com. Don't do what I call a lazy Google search, because as someone who understands how marketing works, if I wanted to get you to my site, and let's say it wasn't LifeWave, it was something else, I would make sure to include something about LifeWave, so that when you Google it and you see that name, you are redirected to my site. Save yourself some time, effort, and energy. Go to thisisitinfo.com. You'll have the patents, the studies, the testimonials. There's a lot of information on there that, again, there's more than it that you need. All your questions will be answered by going to thisisitinfo.com. Now, X39 is so simple, so sophisticated, yet simple to explain. Again, it's a patch made of organic crystals, salt, and sugars, about the size of a quarter. Again, you wear it like a bandage, and what it does, it acts as a mirror. It reflects the light that normally leaves your, but infrared light that leaves your body in the heat and energy. It reflects it back at a certain frequency to wake up what I call your copper peptides, GHKCU, if you want to look it up. Once that happens, and this was discovered back in 1973, if you can figure out a way to activate your copper peptides, you will activate and elevate your dormant stem cells. And once you wake those stem cells up, they're looking to go to work. Now I'm going to play two testimonies from some people who've used the patch. Again, the best thing about X39, it works. After I share these testimonies with you, I want you to put on your business app. For those of you, again, who are interested in your first wealth, which is your health, in the second part of this presentation, I'm going to talk about financial wealth because, again, with the way things are today, we need it and we have the solution for both. Let's watch these testimonies and I'll talk to you on the other side.
Turning 60 here in a couple of months. I know I don't look it, but I'm turning 60 and the body really has taken a toll. And I just had my 18th surgery last December on my shoulder repair. I had a 17 on my neck and my lower lumbar. The last that surgery I had last year was they put two rods in my back. So I've got a neural stimulator wire running up to my neck. I was like a Terminator on the inside. So I was waking up. I was in pain every day, and I didn't for years since 1998 actually. And then so didn't know what it felt like to be out of pain. And I've tried everything. I've done everything from top hospitals, from Johns Hopkins to down in Orlando, Florida, and Tampa, Florida hospitals and doctors and everything. And I tried about everything, acupuncture, you name it, and still experiencing pain. And because I've been in Iraq and the things that I did, dealt hard with PTSD. And so my sleep over the years have been very poor. When I say poor, an average of 3 hours a night. 4 hours was a good night, where it was either the pain or the recurring nightmare. And this has gone on for over a decade. So a few weeks ago, a pastor told me about the patches. When he mentioned it, Bishop Larry Jackson, when he mentioned it, I was like, okay, I'm ready. Just send it. And he told me about the stem cells. I've heard about that, read about that prior, and so he called Glenn and got the patches to me about 2 weeks ago, and I put an example of the X39, 49, and the ocean wave. Either way, I took a patch because I was really hurting that night and put it on my lumbar. And this is no joke. 30 seconds after putting that patch on, within 30 seconds, I was feeling no pain. I mean, I'm moving my hips around like I had a hula hoop on, just trying to make the pain happen, and there was no pain, and I couldn't believe it, and then, but it was true, and slept fine. So ever since these last 2 weeks, and I keep a record on my phone. I have an app for my sleep, and how many hours, with my rested sleep and so forth, how much rested sleep. Prior to these patches, my average time was between an hour, 50 minutes, and 3 hours and 33 minutes of getting sleep per night. Since I've had the patches, I'm getting 7 and 8 hours a night. The PTSD, as far as the nightmares, I haven't had one nightmare in the last 2 weeks. So this patch is amazing. So amazing that my wife, who's an RN for 34 years, she's been dealing with nerve pain in her leg. She uses it and it's helped her tremendously. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it because it's true.
All right, now we're gonna have another testimony from a gentleman out of Long Island. He has one of the worst cases of child abuse in history.
So Long Island in 1970. Two of my twin brothers, they weren't my twin, they were twins with each other, they perished. And myself and some other siblings survived and became scattered. As a result, the abuse I sustained, a lot of the abuse that came from pool sticks, it caused over 118 fractures in my body. And the doctors could see the bone spurs, the chips off of the bone everywhere. And as a young person, I overcame a lot of that, most all of it. As I got older, it brought havoc on me. Every type of rare arthritis that's out there as a result, it seems I got it. My parents would be arrested if they took me to the doctor, so I was left at home for these things to heal. Nerves grow around those bone spurs, and so they cannot be removed now. I have suffered as an adult pain that is indescribable. I have gout, a rare form of arthritis. I have T-cyst syndrome, a rare form of arthritis. I have kyphosis of the spine, which is hunchback, meaning my spine will decide to bend on its own involuntarily and you feel it as the bones are cracked. Multiple osteophytes, so when I sit up straight, the bones first to press on the nerve. And sometimes it would take me until about this time in the evening, between 6 p.m. and now, to be able to sit up or make it to the side of my bed to use a urinal. Now, I usually preface, let me say it now, this is a tale of triumph, not sadness. I today, as the grandfather and a father of two, can now go and visit my kids or hang out with them. And I've only been using these patches for 22 days. After 6 days, I walked 2 miles, something I hadn't been able to do in a decade and a half. On Thanksgiving, I visited my 36-year-old son. He is an adult with a disability. And it's the first time I could visit him on Thanksgiving in 11 years instead of sitting home crying. The pain would be so unimaginable at times that I literally feel like I was passing out. All I could do was pray. Couldn't even tell you my name in those moments. And I've asked about assisted suicide and everything else because there wasn't much of a life there. It hurt all over, and it hurt terribly bad. Within 3 days, I felt very little pain at all. Almost none. At 6 days, I walked 2 miles from the Bronx into Manhattan, and I never had to sit down once. I never had to stop. I didn't think about it until I was walking over the overpass over the major freeway. I've been able to carry my own groceries now instead of having to order them. I've been able to carry gallons and gallons of things so much so I realized I need to chill out a little. I'm overdoing it. I took the subway to see my son on Thursday, and I enjoy the fact here I am traveling to Brooklyn from the Bronx. I'm enjoying it. I didn't take a cab. I decided to walk a quarter mile from Utica Avenue to his home and do the same going back. Although my brother, my big brother Dalsell, who is a part of why these patches are in my life, he introduced me this whole appeal. He sent me the patches. And Ms. Yvonne Land, who also sent me patches and got me well in a record amount of time. I'm on disability because I haven't been able to work since 1990 for the aforementioned reason. But today, all I can do every day is thank God I can get up any time I want. I can go without taking the pills because they're PRN and they're opioids. And I can give my kidneys and my blood and my bones are breaking from the constant of innocence. I can offer to take my neighbor's garbage out when I go out. When they had to take mine out, I keep it in the freezer because I couldn't get them out of here. And I didn't like asking. But they had to get my mail. I'm offering to do these things and I'm doing them with ease. I have the selfish good since I was a teenager. You mentioned this shoulder, I had a torn tendon in the right shoulder. I couldn't, not only could I not sleep on that side, but I had such a hard time. I have a $3,800 car and I can't even pick it up home. So I'm afraid from falling. Right now, I can literally curl and lift weights. I'm doing it within moderation. And I want to continue doing the other things I've been doing. I'm not trying to replace these things, but I'm telling you now, it feels impossible. I didn't want to leave my children behind, but I didn't want to live in that constant moment of pain. I couldn't even go to the pharmacist to get my pain med sometimes for 2 months because it hurt too much to go get them, ironically. Now I'm forgetting to take the pain medicines at times. Yeah. So I just want you all to know, everything I do will always come from my spirit, from my soul. With every fabric of my being, my testimony is true to all of you. And I hope to touch some of you so you can understand. Yes, I've been before. I've been through it all. People in my position, we've tried everything. Everything. And you're afraid to set yourself up for disaster because you tried all the snake oil and everything else. The black seed oil and everything, sure, it helps you, but it ain't helped me with what I'm dealing with. These patches, the X39, are a gift from God. God works in mysterious ways. This is a mysterious way. I didn't have to understand, but it has made me a new man with a new life. And I hope that you all will try and bring it to others who are suffering. God bless you all. Thank you for your time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but the first time I actually saw or heard the testimony, it definitely brought tears to my eyes. And again, so you have an opportunity tonight. You've heard some information. Again, that's going to be life change for those of you who take advantage of it. First and foremost, we talk about your health freedom. We have health challenges that some of them unavoidable, but we do have these health challenges, but we have a solution. Life weight is a solution. X39 is the solution. How about financial freedom? Many of you may have stopped dreaming. How many of you like to take vacations? How like to pay off your bills? Maybe you want to uh, pay off your church's mortgage. It could be anything. It could be helping other people, just traveling without even having an end date. Those things are available to you. We call that financial freedom. Now, if you have both your health freedom and your financial freedom, now you can have the time freedom to do the things that you always love to do. So we're going to talk about that. I want you to put on your business hats. For those of you who have owned a business, those of you who worked for a living wage or work for a living, you know what it means to be limited in your income. But how about the opportunity to be unlimited in your income? Let's talk about this company and what you should be looking at in terms of growth. This company is a 20-year-old global company. It's a powerhouse. Many, like me, many of you have not heard of the company, mainly because most of the people that were associated with LifeWave were medical practitioners, holistic doctors, people who were in the alternative medicine industry, and they were simply building a quiet business with their clients, open in over 75 countries, never missed a payment. Now let's talk about exponential growth. And when the company got started 20 years ago, they did $17 million in their first year. In 2021, they did $20 million. So they average about $20 million per year. And then David Smith developed X39. And look what happened in 2020, from 2021 to 2022. It went from $20 million in revenue to $320 million just because of X39. Then look what happened in 2023, $430 million. And last year it was projected, and we have exceeded $600 million at the end of 2024. It is projected that LifeWave will be a $1 to $2 billion entity in 2025. And think about it, they pay 60% of their revenue to the people who partner with them, share the product, and also use the product. Now, you may ask, how is that growth possible? It's rare to have a company to grow at that speed and that rate. And the reason that it's growing at the rate, it is not a me too product. What do I mean by that? It's not a vitamin. It's not a supplement. It's not a weight loss. It's not skincare. It's not hair care. Not that those things are not good for you, but there are so many companies out there that offer these products. There's so many ways you can get those products. They're very similar. You can get them from Amazon. You can get them from Walgreens, Walmart. I even saw at a recent gas station. I stopped in to go get some inside of a gas station, and they actually had vitamins and supplements at the gas station. So again, this is not a Me Too product. We have another 15 or so years left on the patent. That means you can only get it exclusively to company. If you want to have success, you need to have exclusivity. That is what we have here at LifeWave. Let's talk about the company's growth and recognition by reputable companies like businessforhome.org. Businessforhome.org evaluates direct sales and network marketing companies around the world. And they evaluate everything from their growth, their sales, their leadership. And in the last 2 years, and this year again, the company is ranked the #1 momentum company in the world. Not only is the #1 company in the world, we are part of the #1 team in LifeWave. In less than 3 years, our team is the #1 team in the company, even though the company's been around 20 years. And if you look at the graph, from left to right, anytime you see growth in that direction, that means you're at the right place at the right time. The company actually won the what's called a Bravo Awards by the Direct Seller Network. What you see in the background, that is a team event. That's not a company event. That is our team. Again, that was developed in the last 3 years. And again, we won the Bravo Award. You see our executive staff on the right. We also, and this is going to be, it has to be unique because even though LifeWave is a 20-year-old company, they just had their grand opening in 2024, which represented their 20th year in business. The building that you see behind them, they just built that million dollar facility that you can go visit again because they have a lot more in store even after being around 20 years. Now let's talk about the compensation. Now, LifeWave compensates you in 4 different ways. And I have a question for you. How many different ways do you get paid at your current place of employment or your job or your business? Usually exchanging time for money. And as I said earlier, most people work just hard enough so they don't get fired. Most companies pay you just enough so you don't quit. But the bottom line is, LifeWave will pay you 4 different ways by partnering with them, by sharing opportunity and sharing with other people. Now, it's as simple as getting 4 people to get to what we call the first position. The first position is called manager. You get 4 people to your left and right, and we have what's called a binary structure. Let me explain how a binary works. Binary means 2. That means you have a left and a right side. That's it. That means anytime someone joins, they have to either go on your left side or your right side. These are like mini franchises. And I love that because that means the people that got in before you, guess what? When they bring someone in, they have to put them on their left or right. That means that person's go under you. And when that person shares LifeWave with somebody purchase a product and another person shares with someone else and they share with someone else, those points, those dollars turn into points, and those points turn into what they call commissions or team commissions for you, up to $25,000 per week at the highest level. Again, so just imagine they cap it at $25,000. That means about $1.3 million a year. That's pretty nice for a cap, wouldn't you say? So again, the first way to get compensated is by sharing with others, and the benefit of the binary is that anybody who comes after you will be placed in your left or right, and everything they do contributes to what you can earn in the business. And I love that about this company. We're all working together for the success of each other. So again, that is the first way we get compensated. There's 3 other ways. We're going to talk about one other. The only thing better than getting paid what we call uh, uh, team commission is getting matching bonus. And how does the matching bonus work? Very simply, you share the opportunity with someone else. You allow them to start their own business or their own franchise. Anything they earn and generate, if you're a manager or above, you get a 25% match. Let me give you an example. Let's say you introduce me to LifeWave. I decided I'm excited. I'm going to tell the world. I go out and have a good week. And let's say I earn $100 this week. That means you're going to earn $25. And you didn't do anything other than you introduced me to LifeWave. But what if I have a better week? What if I earn $1,000 this week? That means you earn $250 per week. But what if you didn't just enroll me? What if you enrolled 10 other people? That's 10 times 250 or whatever that amount is. Now, obviously, I know some people that you don't know. And the great thing about that is you don't know who those people know. But anybody that I introduce, they're on my first generation, on my first level. But guess what? They're on your second generation, your second level. And you're going to get a 20% match on people that you don't know, may never meet, could be in a different country, but because I shared it with somebody and they're on your second generation and you are a manager or above, guess what? You get a 20% match. So let's say somebody in your second generation, they earn $1,000 this week. You earn $200 for every person in your second generation who also earned $1,000 that week. And it doesn't come out of what they earn. It comes out. That's an addition. That's a thank you from the company for helping them build their company. Their goal this year is to add 1 million new brand partners. Actually, our team goal, not the company, the team is looking to add 1 million new partners this year. How many of them would you like to get compensated for? Now you have a third generation. Again, that's another level. You get another 20% match on that. So again, those are the two of the four ways that we get compensated. If you want to really know how we get compensated, we do a training every week, several times a week, and we explain everything in detail. We have videos, we have PDFs. Everything is spelled out correctly. But here's what you need to understand very simply. If you share and help other people, if you're selfless and you decide you want to help other people, we all know people who are in pain. We all know people who are suffering. We know people who are on medication. We all know people who have these chronic illnesses and challenges, and we have a solution. Now, wouldn't it be selfish if you didn't share with people that you know? Whether you see this opportunity or not, whether you want to see it as a business or not, you have a responsibility to share with people you love and care about. Okay. Now, to get started, there's a couple of ways to get started. You can fill out a form, or you can get a link from the person that invited you. On that form, they're going to give you a couple options. Now, this is what's called a sleeve. A sleeve is a 30-day supply of these patches. If you want to get in retail, it came out to $149.95. It comes out to about $5 a patch. However, if you want to save and get it for $99 a patch, you can get it by becoming what's called a brand partner. A brand partner is someone, again, who not only has an opportunity to heal themselves health-wise, but you also have an opportunity now to get compensated. Now, and we do have another option called a preferred customer. A preferred customer is somebody that says, hey, I just want to use the patches, and you just agree to a monthly subscription, and you get the 30% discount of $99 a month for one sleeve. Now, as a business builder, let me explain in more detail. We have three options. We recommend either the core, the advanced, or the premium. Now, if you get started at the core, advanced, or premium, the company waives the $25 annual membership fee until the next year. And then all you're doing is buying product. So for those of you who are looking to experience the power of the patch, you want to give yourself at least 90 days. Again, 90 days will be enough time for you to see the significance of the patch. You get 3 sleeves. You can either get it in its raw packaging, or if you like it, you can get it in a beautiful gloss sleeve if you want to have it that way. Either way, again, you get 3 sleeves of the X39, which is a 90-day supply, and you can begin experiencing the value and the power of the patch. Now, if you're a business person, you're a business mind, and you want to get started, you say, you know what, I want to start this as a business. Let me get my toe wet. You want to get started at the advanced, because advanced is one of the things that one of the requirements to get into manager is you have to at least be advanced. Whether you start there or you upgrade, you can upgrade from core to advanced. Once you get to advanced, that is one of the qualifications to be a manager. Again, it costs $535 to be an advanced. You get 6 sleeves of the X39. So you get a slightly bigger discount. And if you're more serious, if you're the most popular is our premium pack. Our premium pack, you get 20 sleeves. 20 sleeves, and you get them at a cost of about $87.50 per sleeve. So that's a big discount. For those of you who may have a business, the holistic practice, or you know, a lot of people, you can make significant income by simply having those sleeves. But also, if you're building a team, oftentimes what happens is you have a new business partner, they get started, let's say at the advanced position. They want their sleeves right away, but it's going to take the 3 to 5 days to get it. You can give them 6 sleeves and they can return it to you when they get it back and keep business going. And if you think about it, if you ever started a business, you wouldn't open up a chicken or a burger franchise and wait till somebody place an order for the burgers, the fries, and the shakes to now order the things that you need. You want to have them in advance. Again, you want to be business minded. So again, for those of you who look at more serious side, you want to get the premium pack. Now, if you're a brand partner, you also will earn either $35 and $75 or $405 when you enroll someone who does the same. That's called a one-time bonus. That's one of the other ways you get compensated. Now, the one thing you want to do, you want to stay qualified. You want to stay active. To be active, that means you have to have at least one of these sleeves every 30 days. We call it on ownership or subscription. What that does, it keeps your volume accumulating. As I share with you in the binary, every time someone joins your team, they create volume. That volume continues to increase and grows that you eventually get compensated for. So you need to have at least one sleeve in place, which is $99 a month. And again, if you think about it, you need your own sleeve anyway. And if you're working with a business partner, you need 2. And in fact, you need 2 to maximize the compensation plan. So you can set up a 2-sleeve ownership, which is suggested. What that allows you to do, not only does it allow your volume to increase, but it also allows you to maximize the compensation plan. One of the other benefits of getting started with the premium pack is you get 90 days without having to place an ordership or without having to have a subscription in place as one of the benefits of that. There's a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. Try to get that at any of your medications or things you get from pharmaceutical places. Again, it's just not happening, and those things don't even work half the time. So the bottom line is, if you're serious about your health, you want to get started, but if you want to generate some income, this is an opportunity. I might have a gentleman share some closing words with him, make sure he's still on. Dr. Stroman is one of our leaders. We just got off a call. He just got off a call of about 20 pastors and bishops. He's on a crusade to eradicate bad health, not only in the church community, but in the community, and financial debt. We had pastors, we had bishops on that call. This gentleman, Dr. Stroman, is world renowned. He is in demand from churches around the world. He's always on a podcast, a TV show, and at somebody's church doing an event. He also has a background in finance, over 30 plus years in the area of finance. He's a hydration specialist. I mean, he has so many titles that I don't think I can name them all, but this gentleman is doing some phenomenal things around the country. And before I close, I'm going to bring him on to just share with you why you should be looking at this not only as a way to improve, eradicate your health, but also to improve your wealth. Dr. Anthony Stroman, are you with us?
Yes, sir. Mr. Hawkins, could you hear me, sir?
I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, my friend. First of all, let me just say, outstanding job as usual. Thank you so very much, Hawkins, for your outstanding presentation and your support. I also want to say congratulations to Taleace because she has so many VIP guests. All of you are very important because she invited you. You are very, very important that Taleace decided to invite you to this information tonight. So let me just say this very quickly because Mr. Hawkins did it. Listen, Mr. Hawkins is on the money. This crusade is very serious worldwide that we're doing. So if you want massive success in what I call OYH, that means own your health. If you want massive success in your finances, which I say OYE, own your economy. The world is changing, folks. You cannot have the same game plan like you had in 2024. So again, if you want massive success in your physical body, massive success in the finances, LifeWave have a home for you. I like to say it this way. With our crusade, build healthy bodies and healthy bank accounts. You will have a beautiful life if you decide. Everything in life is about decision. And Mr. Hawkins gave you the information to make an intelligent decision about your future and your family's future. It's like a game of chess. It's your move. God bless you. Live long and live strong. Back to you, Mr. Hawkins.
Thank you, Dr. Stroman. I appreciate those kind words. And again, he's a phenomenal gentleman connected worldwide. So again, you definitely want to tap into it. For those of you who want to see how we operate, we have a team site called This Is It Team. We have our information site, which is This Is It Info. If you want more information, go to This Is It Info. You will get your question answered. If you want to see how we operate, how we train, the compensation plan is broken down by videos, broken down by PDF. We have our own Facebook page. We also have a YouTube channel where they actually have recordings of trainings and presentations and special events. So again, if you want to get more information, these are the places and sites you want to visit. If you go to the site, in fact, you'll find that tonight there is another call at 10 p.m. for our West Coast guests. If you like what you heard, you want to start building right away, you don't have to wait. At 10 o'clock, there is a presentation. It's another opportunity meeting done by one of our partners out of the Atlanta area. Again, a great presenter, I'm sure. And again, so if you want to start building, you don't have to wait. Invite them to that presentation tonight. The links are in the This Is It Team site, but you can also get it by the person that invited you. Just also want to let you know about a special event that is coming up. We are having our X39 Atlanta Regional Training featuring 3 phenomenal individuals. First and foremost, you have Steve and Gina Merritt. They are the ones who started the This Is It Team almost 3 years ago. They are the top earners in the company. They are what you call elite senior presidential directors. Elite just simply means they're in the top 20 to 30 money earners in the company. But remember, the company's been around 20 years, but our team has only been around for 3 years. We're also going to have Mr. Ken and Lynn Robinson. Ken and Lynn Robinson are also elite senior presidential directors. Also, Harvey and Bedita Monk, also senior presidential directors, all out the Atlanta area. That event is going to sell out. If you want to get there, it's going to be April the 25th and 26th. Circle that on your calendar. On that Friday, they're going to have a special training for those who hit the position of manager and above. And everybody in this call has plenty of time to hit manager and above to be invited to that special call where you're going to be rubbing elbows with the successful people who are all 6, 7, and 8-figure earners. And then on Saturday, there's a presentation in the morning for you to invite your guests at 11 a.m. Then we're going to have a special training for that day. Again, you're going to get all of the tools that you need to be successful in life. Where it's going to be at the Doubletree Hotel in Dunwoody Road, again in Atlanta. Don't miss that event. Circle it on your calendar. Early bird special was $49. You can register for $69 if it goes past that date. I think it's still available, but again, you want to get there. So I just want to close with this. For those of you who are listening to it again, if it makes sense to you, can it make sense to people that you know, love, and care about? You have an opportunity to not only change people's lives physically, you also have a chance to change their lives financially. What a way to get somebody started in 2025. We are looking again for those who want to ride with us. Again, it's a train moving so fast. It's like a train full of buffaloes going downhill with no brakes and no gears. It's not going to stop. You have plenty of time to get on before it gets to that point. We are on what we call our momentum phase. And I like to share this quote or the scripture anytime I do a presentation. It goes as this: withhold not good from those to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do so. Let me say that again. Withhold not good from those to whom it is due, when it's in the power of thine hand to do so. And we all have that power. We all know what people need. We have in our hands. You can no longer say you didn't know, and you cannot not share with people that you love and care about. That will be what we call being selfish. Be selfless. Share with the people you love and care about. I'm going to close by sharing with you that this is your time to make a decision. Again, if it makes sense to you and you just want to become a customer, let them know you want to become a preferred customer. Get on the product, use it. Give yourself at least a minimum of 3 months. You have a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. For those of you who want to get rewarded, you might want to share with other people. Get started as a brand partner. Even if you're not sure, position yourself, because whoever gets started today, guess what? We're going to have a call tonight. We're going to have a call next week. And they're going to be people that's joining us after today. And guess what? They can all be positioned in your team, and you can get benefit from there getting started. So I want to close with sharing with you one of the events that we had recently. We had an event in Las Vegas. It was actually live in Las Vegas, but it was also virtual across the world with some of our top leaders. And again, these are things we're going to continue to do. Get back to the person that invited you. Those of you, all of the guests of Taleace Beverly, thank you for coming on and helping her launch a business, their dreams. You can take that ride with her as well by getting partnered with her and getting started right away. So everybody get back to the person who invited you. Have a good evening. God bless you. And we'll see you all on the beaches of the world.